Everybody, it's Kathy Williams. I told a class today that I would make this video. It's going to be a little edgy, so I may or may not post it. So this morning I was thinking about like the way people choose to spend money. It's always a choice, right? What kind of house we have, what kind of you know, fun we spend our money on, and all sorts of things. Even if we think, no, this is not a choice, it is a choice. And I was looking at the fact that a woman, a facilitator I know, like a lot of times she'll be like, "Hi, I'm so and so. I fly first class around the world doing this," right? And like to me, I kept looking at that in like hashtag first class and hashtag, and I was looking at like what's important to you, and do you do things out of conspicuous consumption because that's important to you or because you know it's going to create something greater? Or do you do it, actually cut off your awareness about what would create greater? Because I know this person has debt too. So, like, when I'm doing things, I don't say, "Hi, I'm Kathy Williams, and I have 5 houses, and I want to, like, do this facilitation for you." Like, I don't do that, and yet 5 houses is where my money goes. Like I don't actually always fly. I generally don't fly first class. I won't say that like out of like um, usually I'll pay for a little extra legroom or something like that. But like if I have extra money for something, I'm a person who loves to watch it accumulate or even buy another house, because another house is an investment that generates me more income, that brings more ease to my life, and so ease can come from different ways. Like if flying first class is what creates ease for this person, awesome. If it's just a choice because it makes them look like someone who's better, interesting. What is that creating? And what is that creating first publicly, like in terms of image or persona, and then second, internally. Like if you have a bunch of debt and you're flying first class, what does that actually create within you? All right, like I have a friend who has very little money and drives a BMW, right? And what's that creating? I happen to know this person has a lot of tension around money. Like, I wonder why you're driving this, super new BMW, spending money on it every month, and you have a bunch of tension around money. So it's not to criticize anyone for their choices, right? I'm just looking at like, why are you choosing this? What's the motivation for choosing this? Like, what do you value about it? And is that more valuable than something else that you could be putting your money into? Like for me, a little extra legroom is definitely worth it. And then the extra $1,000 I'd be spending, I would rather spend that on going to a retreat or on, saving that up to buy a 6th house, right? Like what's valuable to you and what kind of future is that creating? Because for me, if I'm putting my money into more houses, I know that, well, always tapping into my awareness, of course, in what this choice is going to create, right? But when I choose a house, it's like, okay, is that going to create more ease in my life? Is that going to create toward the future that I truly desire? Is it going to expand my financial flows dynamically? And, because I could totally choose, if I wasn't asking that kind of question and using my awareness, I could choose a house that was a pain in the butt, right? Know that from experience, not personally, but my dad's experience. So just like, where are you? Because I've also seen this with facilitators, well-known facilitators, right? Go to a class, fly first class there, pay for the venue, pay for lodging, like a hotel, and then have like 2 paying people come to the class, which means they lost money, right? I'm not making that wrong. That choice to go do that class for 2 people, and 6 hosts may actually create a greater future. And it might not, right? So we get to look at like, okay, And like personally, okay, just checking in, like, is first class the way to go here? Or shall I use miles? Or whatever. So that we're not doing things limiting them by what's linear, right? Oh, it doesn't seem like a good choice, but I actually get a sense that it's going to create a greater future, so I'll do it, right? That would be not linear. You can't justify that, but you get the sense that it's going to create something greater, so you go do it. Definitely, I've made those choices before. Definitely encourage that, right? Not saying that if you know something's not going to make you money, not to choose it. Even if it is you facilitating a class, that might be the class that leads to an idea that like is so generative for you. Thing is, I'm saying look at like where you're choosing because it looks good, right? Where are you choosing because it generates the kind of image you'd like to have that actually, in the outer world looks really good, and on the inner world, once you've made that, really doesn't. It feels off. So, I hope that was useful for you. Like I said, I'm going to be a little edgy today, and yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts about this because I'm not saying don't make a choice because it nourishes your body. Don't make a choice because it's a yummy like thing that soup lights you up. Like, oh, I want to stay in this amazing, super expensive hotel room for a night. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like look at where your energy is going and if inside you that's congruent for you. I'd love to hear, your thoughts on this.